So, who would win? The Lord Protector of the Empress Jessamine Caldwin, or the Deathmaster of Clan Eshin? On today's Legendary Battles of Fantasy, we're going to be seeing who would win between the two assassins Corvo Attano and Deathmaster Snikch. Nobody knows how to pronounce his name. Now, I am by no means a master on the lore of Dishonored or Warhammer, but I'm certainly a big fan of both. I have most of the achievements in Dishonored, and I have a model of Deathmaster Snikch on my shelf. As far as I know, nobody has ever compared these two characters, so I'm going to be the first. Before I start comparing these two characters, there's some necessary context. Deathmaster Snikch is a Skaven, which is a fictional type of ratman. He's literally just a giant rat that stands on two legs with high intelligence and skill and other human characteristics. Both of these worlds have a lot of magic, so if I say something that doesn't make much sense, just roll with it. Lastly, I will be comparing these characters with a point system, with 1 point for weapons, 1 point for stealth, 1 point for magic, 1 for reputation and fear factor, and 3 for skill in battle. I was going to do 1 with speed, but I have no idea how fast Snikch is. With all that being said, let's dive right into this video. Corvo Attano has a sword whose blade folds into its handle. It was specifically crafted by Piero to assist Corvo in taking out several high-ranking political officials, who are all involved in framing Corvo. He also has a gun, which is pretty nice. The gun is kind of like a shotgun. It shoots several pellets rather than a single bullet. However, this is nothing new for Deathmaster Snikch. The Deathmaster has been involved in battles with many opponents wielding guns. Of course, the Warhammer guns may be slightly less advanced, but that shouldn't make too much of a difference. Deathmaster Snikch wields 3 blades, 1 with each paw and 1 with his tail. These are no ordinary swords, though. They are weeping blades, forged with warpstone and heavily enchanted by the most skilled of Skaven sorcerers. The weeping blades sweat a corrosive venom that can melt through steel. It's so deadly, a single scratch can prove fatal. I'm most certainly giving this point to Snikch, because his sword could just melt through Corvo's sword and kill him with a scratch. Next up is stealth. Corvo is quite sneaky, with extensive training in stealth. However, Deathmaster Snikch wears the Cloak of Shadows. It's a cloak woven from human hair and spider silk, and it makes the wearer completely silent. It's also very dark, allowing the wearer to blend into shadows. Deathmaster Snikch wins the point on stealth because of his cloak and his skill. Next up is magic. Deathmaster Snikch has his magic weapons, but he has no actual magic that he uses in fights. Corvo, on the other hand, is a master of magic. He's blessed with the mark of the outsider, allowing him to use magic easily. He can use a teleport ability called a blink, he can possess people, he can call up a swarm of rats to devour people, he can use dark vision to see through people through walls, he can shoot out a powerful blast of wind to knock back enemies. He can even slow down time or stop it outright while still being able to move himself, of course. Now, sometimes the time stop ability doesn't work on people if they're like magically powerful. I'm not sure if time stop would work on Snikch, but I'm giving this point to Corvo Attano because he is very magically powerful. The next point is for reputation and fear factor. Corvo is widely known throughout the Empire as being the Lord Protector, and during the first game, he is known as the Masked Felon. He is wanted for a very high price, and you can see that on wanted posters all around the game. Corvo's actions are left up to the player, and there's always a way to neutralize your target non-lethally, but still, Corvo had quite the reputation. However, his reputation is nothing compared to that of the Deathmaster. Snikch is legendary among the warlord clans of the Skaven. He leaves a distinctive symbol behind so that all who see it know who did it. Warlord Scut had his head placed atop the heads of all 100 of his storm vermin guards. Frederick Hasselhoffen and his entire household were murdered in the royal city of Altdorf, without a single clue left behind. And who could forget about Heinrich Frisian, the powerful wizard who was found flayed inside his laboratory, still locked from the inside? And what of the Dwarf King Dromgar, who was slain in a heavily fortified stronghold? They never found his head, you know. Deathmaster Snikch is one of the most highly feared Skaven in all of Warhammer Fantasy, which is why he wins the point on reputation. Just the mention of his name causes warlords to squint at shadows. Next up is skill in battle. This one is an interesting one because Corvo is a video game character, so his skill is based on the player, and not all players are the same. So if Stealth Gamer BR is playing, Corvo wins instantly, but if I'm playing Corvo, I'll never beat Snikch. Now, if we're going off feats to judge his skill, Corvo has infiltrated a palace, but so has Snikch. Everything that Corvo has done, Snikch has already one-upped him. I'm giving the point for skill to Snikch. Now, I know it seems like Snikch totally mopped the floor with Corvo, but the fight would most likely be closer than you think. Don't forget, Corvo can freeze time at the height of his power, and if he knew Snikch was coming, he could activate Dark Vision and see him through walls. I still think Snikch would win in a true assassin battle, but if Corvo was well prepared, he could definitely put up a good fight. But anyway, thanks for watching my video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below. Goodbye, everyone.
We